Well, greetings, vinyl community. Here I am, a little late to the party, but I did finally receive my record store day items that I was not able to get at the store on record store day itself, or even the week after record store day, but I finally got the goodies that I was really looking for all along. Starting with, I'm just going to go through everything pretty quickly because you've seen most of these a million times already in other record store day videos. But I got the Sun Ra Pink Elephants on Parade. Sun Ra's and the orchestra doing music from Walt Disney films. We've got Forest of No Return, Someday My Prince Will Come, Zippity Doo Dah, Let's Go Fly a Kite, The Second Star to the Right, Whistle While You Work, and of course Pink Elephants on Parade. Now I've never seen Dumbo, so I wasn't really aware of the context, but I looked it up and I've seen the actual scene of Pink Elephants on Parade. You can see that on YouTube. Look for the Pink Elephants on Parade HD video clip. It's just so surrealistic, so psychedelic, and it's absolutely a trip. And it was, produced like 2 years before Dr. Hoffman fell off his bicycle, if you know what I mean. So that's quite the thing. But it was actually not anything more exotic than good old alcohol. I guess a bottle of wine gets dumped into Dumbo's drinking water, and the hallucinations of the Pink Elephants on Parade song come from that. So Sun Ra and his accomplices do a marvelous job. All of these are sung. It's not instrumental versions. It's all very ramshackle and just done in a spirit of craziness, of just good fun, and it's on elephant pink vinyl on the Modern Harmonic label. Story of the Who. This is the one that I wasn't really all that excited about, but I kind of wanted it on a whim. And I've never owned this particular compilation. It's a double LP. And the Record Store Day edition comes on 2-colored vinyl. First disc is pink. Second disc is green, or sort of a teal, I think. And I really enjoy the compilation. I really like the sound. There's kind of a noise floor that you can hear when the needle's in the dead wax, but still, the actual sound is really nice and bright. I'm not crazy about the quality of the packaging. I don't have an original to compare this to, but it seems like the cover image is kind of more blurry than it ought to be. And certainly the booklet that is on the inside with the black and white photos, these are very poorly reproduced. I mean, I've seen these photos elsewhere, and there's much more detail available in these pictures. I'm sure the original was not that badly done. But still an enjoyable listen. The third I got was Frank Zappa for President. This is a double LP that came out. This is a posthumous album. On the theme of government and American society, and of course the idea of running Frank Zappa for president. Something that he kind of toyed with towards the end of his life. I think he was already aware that he wouldn't live long enough to actually do such a thing. But in 2016, this came out during an election year, and it came out on CD only, so this is its first vinyl release. The vinyl itself is on this red, white, and blue splatter. It is a 3-sided LP, which is kind of unnecessary because it's a 43-minute album. It would have fit on a single LP easily. I'm not sure how well I can show the picture of Frank on the unused fourth side. How well that's coming through. But you can see Uncle Frank there. And it comes with a great big old $7 bill that's just covered with little conceptual continuity clues and references for the Zappa freak. And who isn't? If you're watching this channel, maybe you are. Finally, Yes, with the Yale Bowl 71 mock bootleg. This is just printed on. I thought it would have been really cool if they had actually produced it with a paper insert like a genuine vintage bootleg. Instead, they just have this printed on soiling, so it looks like it's been knocking around for the last 40 years and something that you turned up in a bin at a record show. This is music by the Yes album lineup. All the original members except for Steve Howe having joined, replacing Peter Banks on guitar. Otherwise, the original members, Bill Bruford on drums, Tony Kaye on keyboards, Chris Squire on bass, great photo of Chris Squire front and center there, and John Anderson on vocals. You get the individual band member pictures on the back. All the material is from the Yes album. It's Yours Is No Disgrace, I've Seen All Good People, Perpetual Change, and Clap, with an interpolation of Mason Williams' Classical Gas into Steve Howe's guitar solo of Clap. So that was it for Record Store Day. There were a bunch of other of the jazz releases on the Elemental label that were just beyond my budget, so I settled for CD editions of those, getting the Yusef Lateef and one of the Cannonball Adderleys. This is brilliant as far as contributions from George Duke. This is like a George Duke album with Cannonball Adderley playing on it. Fantastic keyboard work. Another Sun Ra. Sun Ra at the Showcase live in Chicago. 2 concerts from 1976 and 77. And Mel Waldron and Steve Lacy, the Mighty Warriors. The LP versions were like $50 a pop at least, so that was a little beyond my means. Also picked up at the local record store the other day some pretty common albums, but nice things to add to the collection. One of my favorite Bob Dylan albums, Desire. This one and Blood on the Tracks were his peak in the 70s. After such a long period when he'd been producing either nothing at all or some just pretty good albums like Planet Waves, New Morning, John Wesley Harding, nothing since Blonde on Blonde had been really fantastic. And then there'd been the kind of clinker albums like, did I say clinker or clunker? I'm not sure. I had an interesting vowel there. But albums like Self-Portrait and the Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid that just weren't up to snuff. But Blood on the Tracks and Desire were the ones. Blood on the Tracks gets all the attention, but I almost like this one better. I love the storytelling songs, and most of the songs on here fit in that mold. Certainly there's a great storytelling song on Blood on the Tracks. You got Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts. Tangled Up in Blue is a good storytelling song, but this one has no fewer than 3 really epic length stories in the forms of Hurricane and Isis and Joey. And there's Black Diamond Bay, which is not quite that epic in scope, but still a fantastic story and very, very funny. This has the original insert with liner notes. So from 1975, Bob Dylan's Desire from the following years, but Desire May, I think Wikipedia says it actually came out the first week of 1976, and this is from the tour that ensued. So from 1976, the live album Hard Rain, that was kind of the soundtrack to the television special that was produced from the tour. I picked up a Peter Gabriel album. This was his fourth album, and it was intended to be the fourth in a row simply titled Peter Gabriel. The American label, Geffen, put their foot down and wanted an album with a proper title. So for the American release, it was retitled Security, but the title appears only on the record label and on a hype sticker that came on the original shrink wrap. Otherwise, this is another self-titled album. I, back in the day, had the UK edition, which did not have the Security title. There it is. And this is the album that has Shock the Monkey on it. This is from 1982, Peter Gabriel. Finally, picked up the first album by The Tubes, the one famous for What Do You Want From Life and White Punks on Dope. This is one you see around here a lot. I just kind of picked it up. It got into my mind because I saw Mazzy showing it. He was actually showing the second album, Young and Rich, but he also showed this album for context. And it kind of got it into my mind that the next time I saw it for cheap, I wanted to give it a listen. So there you go. That's it. Thanks very much for watching. Be well. Talk with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.